Good evening. We have a lot to get to tonight as tornadoes touch down across central Iowa. These are images you sent us overnight. Recovery efforts are underway at this hour, and we now know at least 7 people have died. The governor issuing a disaster proclamation for Madison County. And let's bring in Taylor right now. Taylor, we are learning just within the past couple of hours of more tornadoes and how strong they were. Yeah, it was not just Madison County that was affected. There were numerous tornadoes across Iowa, and some of them have been surveyed, and we have that information to share with you this evening. The surveys that we have from the National Weather Service in Des Moines are mainly in south central Iowa. 3 confirmed pretty strong tornadoes in this part of the state. This is Lucas, Wayne, and Decatur counties. We have one that was an EF3 that traveled just to the south and east of Sheraton, on the outskirts of Sheraton. Certainly some reports of damage there. Peak wind gust 138 miles per hour. A couple of EF2s as well, including one that moved through northeast Decatur County into northwest parts of Wayne County and affected Houston. And then EF2 tornado that affected Allerton and Corydon with peak winds around 120 miles per hour. There were a few other confirmed weaker tornadoes in far eastern Iowa. No official data on the Winterset, Norwalk, or Pleasant Hill tornadoes just yet. The National Weather Service expects to have that information out by tomorrow, and certainly a day we won't forget. And we're shifting from severe weather to winter weather tonight. We'll talk more about that coming up here in a few minutes. John. All right, thanks, Taylor. And be sure to download the We Are Iowa app. Just scan the QR code on your screen right now. Make sure notifications are on so you don't miss an important update in your area. And this is one of the areas of Winterset hit the hardest. This is 169 and Carver Road, just south of town. You can see debris scattered on both sides of the highway here. Several trees damaged and snapped in half. This was a gathering place for many volunteers today. They were there to look for any more victims. They helped clear rubble, and there was lots of chainsaws and front-end loaders clearing down limbs. Local 5's Carson J.S. Reichart is in Winterset today in the aftermath of the tornado. He joins us now. Carson, what have you seen today?
Yeah, John, it is hard to overstate the amount of destruction that we've seen today. Entire homes ripped off their foundations from the wind damage. But in spite of all of that damage, Iowans are still banding together to help each other prepare and repair the damage. For Josie Beeson, March 5th is a night that she'll never forget.
Yeah, I just got through the basement door and it slammed behind me from the pressure of the tornado.
She hid in her basement during last night's tornado with her stepfather at the bottom of the stairs. She was only down there for a few minutes.
It felt like an eternity with the tornado coming over.
But when she came out, the home she'd known was gone. Entire walls had been ripped out. Debris from the storm now covering what's left of the home.
The house was a disaster, and it was terrifying that I could have died.
More than 50 homes were damaged by the tornado. In response, hundreds of volunteers answered the call to come help repair and rebuild. The Madison County Chamber of Commerce organized the efforts, sending volunteers across Winterset to help rebuild. The Red Cross, Salvation Army, and even Hy-Vee all sent teams to help. All of those efforts being praised by Governor Kim Reynolds during a visit to Winterset today.
I tried to walk through and thank them for being there, and over the response was, we're Iowans, and that's what we do. We show up, we take care of our family, we take care of our neighbors, and we take care of our community.
There's no timeline yet for how long it's going to take to repair the damage. Winterset may have some difficult days ahead, but residents are grateful for the help they've received so far.
And Madison County has always been an amazing support system for our community, and seeing everyone out and even blowing up all of my family's phones and just, lending a hand or saying, if you need anything, it's been amazing.
So those volunteer groups that are being organized by the Madison County Chamber of Commerce will keep going in the coming days, and they are still looking for volunteers to take more shifts as the rebuilding efforts continue. If you're interested in helping, you can call the number on your screen to get scheduled with a shift. Live in Winterset, this is Carson J.S. Reichart for Local 5 News. We are Iowa.
All right, thank you, Carson. And in Lucas County, we know one person has died in a rural area southeast of Sheraton. Several other people are injured. A tornado hitting that area just after 5 o'clock last night. There were several homes, buildings, and power lines damaged. Lucas County Public Health is offering tetanus shots to anyone involved in the recovery efforts. If you would like to make an appointment, you can do so by calling the number that you see there on your screen. And there is damage in Warren County as well. This is video from the city of Norwalk. You can see homes and buildings, and outbuildings rather, damaged by the tornado. Jeremy Roth sending us this photo that you see here, this video rather, from outside his home as the storm passed over. The tornado hitting a number of residential areas as well as the city public works building. Some residents still without power in that area. And portions of South and East Pleasant Hill hit by tornadoes last night. Several homes in the area were significantly damaged. Local 5's Larissa Leon has more on the aftermath of last night's storm and today's recovery efforts in Pleasant Hill.
Here in Pleasant Hill, chainsaws are a loud sound booming across the neighborhood, and there's a lot of neighbors that are just coming to help out as many homes were damaged by last night's storm. I spoke with a homeowner who says they're just happy to be safe.
Cleaning efforts are underway as last night's tornado rocked the south and east side of Pleasant Hill, leaving devastation for many homeowners in the area.
It was just unbelievable. It's overwhelming. You don't ever expect this to happen or to see this.
Jerry Van Nielsen took cover in her basement with her dog, hoping they'd make it out alive.
I went to our basement windows and tried to look out, and I could see we have mattresses in the yard, part of a wall in the yard, so I knew for sure the upstairs was in bad shape.
Just a couple miles away, Allison George was out on her golf course, Toad Valley Golf, watching what was happening from a safe distance, hoping everyone in this tight-knit community was okay.
We could see every time it would hit a house or barn or something, we were watching debris fly up in the air, and then it would be okay, and then you'd see debris fly up in the air again.
Thankfully, Jerry Van Nielsen and her family were not harmed in the storm, and she says in the end, that's what's most important.
I'm grateful we're all okay. He wasn't here, my son wasn't here. We're all alive, we're all safe. This is all just stuff.
For those families like the Van Nielsens that are suffering from severe tornado damage and unable to live in their homes, Allison George says her golf course is a place people can seek shelter.
That's, if you want to just, have a little home base just to get away, if you're, tired from, cleaning up debris or whatnot.
Outpouring support given to the Van Nielsen family has proven to Jerry that Iowa is where she belongs.
I think that's the beauty of Iowa. Everybody's willing to pitch in, and it's a great place to live.
Larissa Leon, Local 5 News, We Are Iowa.
And the American Red Cross on the ground tonight in areas impacted by the storm. They have been distributing food, water, and other relief supplies to residents in Madison County. They say they were working with local officials to support shelters in that area. And as we've been showing you, one of the hardest hit areas by the tornado was Winterset. There, the twister flattened several buildings, leaving multiple families without homes. Local 5's Shelby Kluver brings us to the heart of the devastation, where one Iowa family made it out alive and must now begin picking up many pieces.
For 9 years, this was home to 5 members of the Burkett family. But it only took seconds for everything to change.
Thought, well, that's never going to happen to me, and we never thought that would happen.
Wendy and Tony Burkett were at home with 2 of their daughters when they noticed something big on the horizon.
It was huge. It was
black and pieces and parts flying.
Yes.
This is the room the Burkett family hid in while the tornado barreled down upon them. It took a minute for the wind and the noise to subside and for their lives to change forever.
We could see our belongings everywhere, and we could see that our house was pretty much gone.
The funnel ripped away most of their upper floor, along with the garage and shed.
One of the girls' bedrooms now completely open to the outside, missing a roof and walls.
The inside of the house resembling a war zone. Years of memories buried under chunks of drywall and broken glass. Nearby, dishes sit coated in mud, with no windows or roof to offer protection. Upstairs, more walls are missing than those that remain. while mundane bathroom objects lay scattered throughout a surreal setting.
When the tornado came through, it blew a massive amount of objects from the house all the way up into the hills and the trees. Things like insulation, wrappers, toys, even Tony's flannel up in that branch up there.
So I had a whole pile of laundry that I was doing in the living room, and that all got sucked out and thrown into trees.
Neighbors on both sides of the hill facing much of the same and worse.
There were people that did not survive this that are our neighbors down the road. That's really the most important thing, that none of us were hurt, we survived, and everything is replaceable except for us.
Now the road to rebuilding is only just getting started. It'll take months to erase the tornado's mark. But today, the Burkett family is counting their blessings.
Yeah, I'm just really thankful that we survived.
In Winterset, Shelby Kluver, Local 5, We Are Iowa.
And just over 5,000 people live in Winterset. Although a majority of the homes were spared, the National Weather Service says it's still trying to determine what level of tornado blew through town.